live. You see they're dry. You see there's no marrow in the bone. You see they're scattered all over the valley. They ain't even full skeletons. I mean, the bones are scattered all over the valley. They're just bones. But answer me a question, Ezekiel. Can these bones live? Ezekiel answers the only way he knows how to answer. Lord, you know. Critical race theory was born out of critical legal theory. Am I teaching y'all something today? There emerged two common beliefs linking all critical race theories. First, white supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's just a fact. How in the world are you going to fight against that being taught in any school? White supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's a fact. Why don't you want that to be taught in school? You let your schools teach us that Columbus discovered America. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that George Washington couldn't tell a lie. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that some slave owners were beneficent and good slave owners. There were no good slave owners. Anybody who owned people was evil. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that Abraham Lincoln was good for Negroes. No, Abraham Lincoln was trying to save the Union. And Abe Lincoln himself said if he could save the Union and keep black people in chains, he would do it. That's a lie. Come on, somebody. You let them teach us about a white Jesus. You let them teach us that Native Americans were the aggressors. Come on, somebody. That white folk had a manifest destiny and that the Pilgrims were good to Native Americans. That's a lie. All day, every day, you let them teach us lies. All throughout my history in school, I was taught lies. But you got a problem with critical race theory because it teaches the truth that white supremacy has subordinated black people and people of color. The right to bear arms. Let me just back up a little bit and let me take you on back to the late 1960s when Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. And they were oppressing black folk, and a group of men and women known as the Black Panther Party decided that they were going to defend the rights of black folk. And the Black Panthers decided that the Second Amendment wasn't just for white folk. So they strapped themselves with guns and showed up at the Capitol in California. And when they saw them Negroes with guns, come on, somebody. That's why I say if you ever really want to get gun laws changed, just strap all these Negroes up. They'll change them laws before the week is over. When the Black Panthers, watch this, I want you to read, the California legislator passed what was called the Mulford Act. It was a gun control act that decided who could get guns, who couldn't get guns, what could be in your background, what couldn't be in your background. It was the first time in history that the National Rifle Association, the NRA, supported restrictive gun legislation, all because black folk had the nerve to get strapped. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, go get strapped. Amen, somebody. Y'all gonna say Bishop told us to get strapped. I said it. Go get strapped. It just got real quiet up in here. But y'all already know I'm a triple P. Amen. Y'all know what a triple P is, right? A pistol packing preacher. Amen, somebody. What's good, family? Good morning to each and every one of y'all. Y'all already know what it is. I can't play no Coltrane on Facebook because they'll shut the stream down. I think that's me. Oh yeah. I'm talking to them. They'll shut the stream down, so you got to go to WTCCFM.org or TuneIn Radio or iHeartRadio if you want to hear the jazz. Okay, got a couple jazz tunes that's going on, and then we'll get into our conversation. Just gonna do a recap of the Democratic National Convention. I'm sure y'all was watching it, so yeah, we'll be dealing with that. Little Coltrane in the building. Let a friend know Bishop is on the air right now. Let me see. I got to get my Instagrammers up. They still got my main Instagram account restricted for no reason whatsoever. But that's the games they play. And we're going to get our Twitter spacers up momentarily. So it's Talbert W. Swan #2 is where you go on the IG to find a brother. Let me make sure I can hear the music. Y'all can't hear. Yeah, so that's where you find me on IG because they have me restricted for nothing. Just because they don't want me to talk to people. I don't know. I can't call it. Well, I can call it. It's called silencing voices of dissent. That's what it is. That's what it is, y'all. Silencing voices of dissent. That's what they do. That's how they get down. So let me get my let me get Twitter Space live. All right, Twitter Space is popping. Now let me get my Otis Redding on, and we ready to go. There we go. She may be weary. Young girls, they do get weary. Shaggy dress. All I give you, little doses. All I can do is tease y'all a little bit. A little tenderness. Rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you're chiming in from. California, what's happening? Don't sing it. Really, Whitney? Really? For real? Seriously? My daughter hating on my vocal skills. Don't tease her. Never leave her. What's happening, Lady Hightower? You got to know what to do. Yeah, my daughter was hating on me. I don't know why she hate on me like that. I'm just confused. Confused. It's all good. Let's go. Rip City, rep your town. Yes. I see you, cuz. Milwaukee in the building.
A positive attitude says everything about you. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. Every day you get up, you've been given a gift. That's why they call it the present. And it's up to you of how you unwrap it. So yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. So don't let the pain of your past bleed into your present and poison your future.
Let me sign on the radio and then come back.
Why did this happen to me?
90.7 WTCC. Good morning. Welcome to the Black Love Experience, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Yes, the end of the work week, beginning of the weekend. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening. Good morning to the Pioneer Valley, everybody over our 4,000 watts, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, the itty bitsy parts of New York, wherever you are, of course, over the World Wide Web, everywhere. Shout out to Cleveland, Ohio, California, Milwaukee, Chicago, Houston. The 413 is in the building. Rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you are chiming in from. Always love to acknowledge where our peoples are coming in from. I haven't even jumped on the gram to see where they coming from on the gram. Yeah, the gram still has my main page restricted from going live for no reason. For no reason, you know, just because. So you got to go to Talbert Swan, Talbert W. Swan 2 on the gram to catch the live. Of course, welcome to my YouTube church, my Facebook church, my Twitter space church, to everybody from everywhere, wherever you are. Always a pleasure to have you kicking around with me on Monday and on Friday. But since today is Friday and all this week we had the Democratic National Convention, I wanted to kind of do a DNC recap. How many of y'all watched it? If you're in the space, if you're in the if you're in the if you're on social media and you watched it, just put in the comment section that yes, you watched the DNC. And then I need you to put in, if you did watch the DNC, uh, who gave your favorite speech? If anybody. If nobody did, say that too. Um, but who gave your favorite speech during the DNC? If anybody gave your favorite speech, if anybody gave a speech that you thought was worth listening to, definitely put that information in. Let me know. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all gonna say whatever. You know, I'm the first brother to hold Democrats, Republicans, anybody accountable. But listen, that Michelle Obama. Yeah, I don't care what none of y'all say. That Michelle Obama. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to play some of that. That Michelle Obama. Anyway, 413-736-2781. 413-736-2781. We're gonna come back after this and we're gonna chop it up. All right, don't go nowhere. Stay put.
You say you sold out because black women are loud and crass. What? And your precious white woman is the epitome of class? Are you so blind that you cannot see? That pale girl child ain't got nothing on me. For hundreds of years we have stood by your side, accepted your flaws and allowed you your pride, bore your children and cleaned up your mess, satisfied your lust and always settled for less. We have stayed in the background and allowed you to lead, trusting in your strength and ability to succeed, never getting the praise and credit we deserve, but having the courage, the will, and the nerve, for being the backbone that has kept it together for you and our children in all kinds of weather. Now suddenly you say we're not good enough for you. We forced you to sell out because of the things we did. Well, where was that white woman when that white man you hate was
cracking the whip
in the boardroom, the warehouse, and
on the slave ship?
She stood by his side and didn't say a word, waiting for her own chance
to rule and be heard.
And now it's her you turn to and treat like a queen, and me and my sisters you choose to demean. Well, hold up, wait a minute, and stop the damn bus. Because there are a few things I need to remind you about us. Listen up. A more beautiful creature
God never made
than an African woman, no matter her shade. High, yellow, red bone, or
cocoa brown.
We are more than worthy of wearing a crown. Ebony, mocha, or black as the night. It is we who have always shared in your plight. We are passionate, spiritual,
loving and kind.
A more generous heart you'll never find than the one that beats inside the body of a Nubian queen, the hardest working, loving, giving woman you've ever seen. For we give and forgive until there's little left. Then we're forced to put up our guard to avoid your theft. The theft of our hearts and our trust, the very nature of our soul, by our so-called brothers who are just
playing a role.
And you wonder why some of us act as we do? Take a look in the mirror, because the answer is you. It's not enough that the white man has always tried to keep us down, but our own men act as though they'd love to see us drown. And white women have never invited us to join their equal rights struggle. So we're out here alone with a million things we juggle, raising the children that black men leave behind, and dealing with the racism of the daily corporate grind. Damn, it's no wonder some of us are loud. Hell, we're just trying to be heard.
Trying to be heard.
Everyone, including our men, ignore our every word. Where are the brothers who understand a black woman's worth? Right here, who will protect and stand by us, for we are the salt of this earth. We birthed you, raised you, and showered you with love. It was we who taught you to love your creator above. We gave you all we had and taught you to be men. Open your eyes, it is us, your black sisters.
Your black sisters.
Not Bo Derek's kind who rates a perfect 10. And one final word for the sellout to
claim to be brothers.
When you turn your back on us, you disrespect your mothers. Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
This is a response to the sellout.
90.7 WTCC, 17 minutes past the hour of 9 a.m. I want to thank Deacon Ernie Johnson for bringing us up until the 9 o'clock hour with Friday morning inspiration. Listen, you can hear Deacon Ernie Johnson and Elder Rick Robinson every single Friday morning, okay, bringing you that inspirational gospel music. Great way to end your work week. So definitely turn it on a little bit early. You'll be able to catch me early and be able to get some of that inspirational music from those brothers on worship, of course. Check us out at the Spring of Hope Church of God in Christ, 35 Alden Street, Springfield, Massachusetts, the Brick Church, right there at Six Corners. There'll be prayer, praise, and preaching. We're building better tomorrows by changing lives today, 11 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. Upcoming is our annual Holy Convocation, September 3rd through the 6th, Tuesday through Friday at the Spring of Hope Church. The Bishop, Robert Jones, kicking it off on that Tuesday. The pastor, Willie J. Moy, that Wednesday. Our jurisdictional supervisor of the Women's Department, Mother Valerie Fields, will be on that Thursday, and yours truly will close out the convocation on that Friday evening on the 6th. On the 7th, Hope Fest is kicking off, 1 o'clock p.m. Music, food, games, all that stuff, you know, getting ready for school and, you know, all that. So we're kicking that off. And during the course of the Hope Fest, there'll be a street naming ceremony. Honored to have the Traffic Commission and the City Council. Shout out to City Councilor LeVar Click Bruce and all of the councilors who unanimously approved the honorary naming of Alden Street after yours truly, as Bishop Talbert Swan Way. So we'll have that street naming ceremony happening on the 7th of September at around 3 p.m. So you're more than welcome to come by, and you're invited to come by. There'll be a short program, and then the street naming ceremony will happen. All right, so a lot of good stuff going on. The NAACP Freedom Fund. Then go to the Greater Springfield NAACP Facebook page. Check out all the details. It is happening on October the 17th at the Sheraton. Keynote speaker is my sister, the Reverend Siobhan Arline Bradley, the president and CEO of the National Council of Negro Women. I've watched her career for a number of years. We kind of came up together in the NAACP. When I first became president, she was running health initiatives for the national office at that time, and I've seen her career take off, and now she is walking in the footsteps of the Dorothy Heights and the giant women of the world as the president and CEO of the National Council of Negro Women. I will be addressing them at their national conference on October 11th, and she'll be here with us on October 17th. So you want to be a part of that. Get your tickets, get your tables, get your, take out an ad and the souvenir jar, all that good stuff is happening. All right. 413-736-2781. 413-736-2781. Democratic National Convention happened this week. It's long been a significant event in American politics. It's the platform where both the Republican National Convention, Democrat National Convention, where the parties showcase their values, they set their agendas, um, basically energizing their base ahead of the presidential election. Um, and so the DNC um, had its this past week. And of course, over the years, black voters have been one of the most loyal voting blocs for the Democratic Party. And the 2024 convention was no different in this regard. It highlighted the evolving dynamics and the need for the party to continue to earn our support, especially in a political environment that is increasingly shaped by issues of race, justice, and equity. Now, a defining moment, of course, you can't deny it. I'm an independent voter, but so whether you're an independent, a Democrat, or a Republican, you cannot deny the historic nature of this particular DNC. And the defining moment of Kamala Harris accepting the Democratic nomination for president. It was not just historic because Kamala is the first black woman to be nominated by a major party for the presidency. It was also emblematic of the changing face of American politics and of the Democratic Party itself. Harris's nomination really represented a culmination of decades of struggle and activism by black women who have been the backbone of the party. You can't deny that. Can't not deny that. Her rise to the top of the ticket highlights the importance of representation and the need for leadership that reflects the diversity of the nation. So you have black women who have been the backbone of the party who finally have a black woman who is the party's nominee. So in her speech, Vice President Harris acknowledged the challenges facing the country, talked about the lingering effects of COVID-19, the ongoing fight against racial injustice, and really tried to position herself as a candidate who understands the struggles of ordinary Americans, particularly those who have been marginalized and overlooked by the political system. She gave tribute to the trailblazers who came before her and a call to action for the future. The DNC tried to, through the course of the week, give some level of focus to the issues that are central to black voters, coupling that with the historic nature of Harris's nomination. They understand, and I don't know if their strategy for galvanizing the black vote is the right one, but they do understand the importance of the black vote in this 2024 election. They know they cannot win without overwhelming support from black people. And so that raises important questions about the relationship between black voters and the Democratic Party. Okay. Now, while black voters have been instrumental in the party's success, there's a growing sentiment that this support has been and should no longer be taken for granted. They just cannot rest on their laurels and take for granted that black folk are going to be with them. That our voices should be heard before our votes are counted. I see you, Pennsauken, New Jersey. And that there ought to be some tangible exchanges for the black vote. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with that expectation. There's nothing wrong with black people saying, hey, you know what? We've got a quid pro quo for our votes. You want our votes? This is what we want in exchange. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Every other group has expectations that come along with getting their votes. I mean, that's just, it's what it is. Matter of fact, put it in the comment section, those of you all that are in there. What do you want in exchange for your vote? Now, I know, I understand there are some folk who, I just don't want Trump in office. And if that's the case, I understand. I completely understand. If that's all it is, go for it. I'm going to play some of the clips from the convention in terms of the speeches. I think I'm going to start with DL. Hughley, who went hard after Trump, apologized to Harris for some things he had said without doing research. This is what he said. If I can find it. Again, put your favorite speech. I'm definitely going to play Michelle Obama. Because all of that, when they go low, we go high, that was out the window. Yeah. All that was out the window. Michelle was like, forget that. They go low, we go high stuff. I'm going for the jugular. Period. I'm going for the jugular vein. And she took it there. Yeah, she took it there. And, you know, those of us who are anti-Trump, we loved it. We absolutely loved it. Matter of fact, they could have just dropped the mic after her speech. I mean, Barack didn't even have to come on. For real, he didn't. You didn't even have to do Barack after Michelle got done. Listen, I would not be the one who wants to come after Michelle Obama. But let me let you hear DL, and then we'll come back.
Seriously, Kamala knows the truth about the American dream. That hard work is not enough. Hard work alone is not enough to succeed. That you need access and information and opportunity. And she knows that some folks are often denied those very things. As president, she will give each and every one of us a fair shot in life. But I have to admit, I didn't always believe that. I I mean, if you told me the 15-year-old me would be on stage supporting a prosecutor and a teacher, there is no way that I would have believed you. But because of that, I made assumptions about Kamala's record. And I often repeated them to a lot of people. Then one day, Kamala invited me to her house. She put her hand on my shoulder and she asked me to do some research. Something I had never done. Something a lot of people I know had never done before. Imagine attacking someone's character without a single Google search. So I did what I should have done in the first place. I learned that she had done for us exactly what she promised to. I believe that your apology should be as loud as your accusation, and I'm here apologizing from the whole damn world. I was wrong, and I'm so very glad I was wrong because, Kamala, you give me hope for the future, a future where my grandchildren, Nola and Stevie, had the freedom to control their own bodies, where they have the opportunity to go as far as their wits and their talents would take them.
All right, that's part of. Let me find. I want to find the one where he kind of went in on Trump. That was him apologizing because, according to DL, he had said some things or just repeated some things without doing any research. On here we go. Let's get this. Here we go.
Hey now, hey Chicago, how y'all doing? What's happening, California? Now, wait, where those AKAs at? Where they at? You know what? In 3 months, ain't gonna be no living with y'all. I can tell you this. I don't blame Donald Trump for not wanting to debate Kamala. I've been married to a black woman for 40 years and I ain't won one debate. I'm owing $93,000. Now, of course, Trump is saying that Kamala isn't black. I guarantee you this, Kamala's been black a lot longer than Trump's been a Republican. And if he keeps sliding in the polls the way he is, the only way to keep Kamala out of the White House is if he buys it and refuses to rent it to her. Of course, Kamala's getting broad support. They got black men for Kamala, white men for Kamala, Latinos and Asians for Kamala. They even have Republicans for Kamala. Republicans for Kamala. I guess Donald Trump will finally know what it's like when you get left for a younger woman. But seriously, Kamala knows the truth about the American dream. That hard work.
All right, let me stop that there. That's DL. That's DL Hughley. Hey, Bishop Davis, I see you there, my brother Bishop. Let me get I need to get Michelle Obama up in the spot. Need to get Michelle Obama in the spot. Let's see. I'm not trying to do the whole speech, but there are definitely some highlights in her speech that, you know, she was up for 20 minutes. Michelle gave a whole set. She wasn't playing around. There's a particular part that I want to highlight. Because I saw some of y'all in the comment section saying you missed Michelle. Listen, if you missed Michelle, You owe it to yourself. I'm gonna play a minute of Michelle, because that's all you need to hear right now. But she's got a whole 21-minute speech. That you should hear the entire speech. But this my part right here. This is my part right here.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black. Wait. I want to know. I want to know. Who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
You know what? That was so good. I think I need to play that one more again. Let's do that one more time with Michelle Obama.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black. I want to know. Who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
Okay, who gonna tell him that job he looking for? President of the United States just might be one of those black jobs. Yeah, Michelle said, you know what? Forget all of that go low, go high stuff. I'm going for the jugular. And she went there. And definitely delivered. Then Obama got in on the jokes. Let me see. Talking about his obsession with size, and then he did this thing with his hands that, yeah, you had to see it. You gotta go back and watch that.
There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes.
For me to say,
oh boy, I'm telling you, there were some moments. There was definitely some moments during the DNC. The speakers really were trying to underscore the issues of concern. But black voters are demanding more than recognition. And here's what Democrats need to be careful of as they come out of their convention. This feel-good moment, it may be good for a little bump in the polls and stuff, but you still got a long way to go to the election. You got a long way to go to the election. And that black voters are still calling for tangible policy commitments that address their needs. And so the Democratic Party's challenge, in my opinion, is to translate the rhetoric of the convention into concrete actions that will make a difference in the lives of their constituents. They've got to translate the rhetoric into concrete actions. And this means they've got to push for comprehensive voting rights protections. They've got to push for meaningful criminal justice reform. They've got to push for economic policies that address the deep-rooted inequalities in the country that still exists. And the convention highlighted the need for the Democratic Party to engage with Black voters in a more meaningful way. And that means not only listening to their concerns from within the community, who can speak directly to the experiences and aspirations of Black Americans. So the DNC, of course, was a pivotal moment in this year's election, in their engagement with voters. It had the right themes, the themes of justice, equality, the song that kept rolling through the convention, freedom. You had Kamala Harris's historic nomination. It highlighted the central role of Black voters in the future of the party. The need for the party to continue earning the support of Black voters by addressing their concerns through bold, transformative policies. And as this election approaches, and what's going to go by just like that in just a few days, the relationship between the Democratic Party and Black voters is going to be crucial in determining the party's success and in shaping its future. So let's not be quick to dismiss those who question the authenticity of the Democratic Party when it comes to Black voters. They have a right to do that. Any party you give 95% of your votes to, you have the right to hold accountable. You have the right to question. You have the right to make demands on. So those are not the persons that we need to be fighting against. Now, these straight up Negroes who are out here cooning, yeah, I'm dismissing them. The ones who are out here cooning and I'm down with Trump and everything was better under Trump and Trump is down for Black people and all. Yeah. Listen, you can question Democrats. You can question the agenda of the party. You can question its commitment to Black voters. You can do all of that without the ridiculous performative nonsense of trying to act like Donald Trump loves Black people. Y'all need to stop that foolishness. Y'all need to stop that. Just cut that out. Okay? There's nothing wrong with holding Democrats accountable. Nothing wrong with that. But don't take us for fools. And you got these ignorant brothers who are out here, everything was cool under Trump. He gave us stimulus checks. All that kind of foolishness. Yeah. Ignore them. Ignore those Negroes. They're not worth your energy. They're not worth your energy. See, here's the thing. You can be anti-Trump and not a Democrat shill. Okay? And you can question Democrats without buck dancing for Republicans. Okay? Bottom line, as the political landscape evolves and issues that face black folks become more pressing, we ought to have a demand for the Democrats to do more than just count on our loyalty. The challenge that is before them is to remain relevant to black voters by addressing their needs and concerns through substantive policy changes. And at the same time, black voters have to hold the party accountable. We have to be the ones to ensure that our support is not taken for granted, but that instead it leads to meaningful action and progress. Now, of course, I played a little bit of DL. I played some of Barack. I played some of Michelle. I guess I really need to play a little bit of the nominee, huh? What y'all think? Let me play a little bit from the nominee of the party. If I can find it. Got to get some from Kamala. Elizabeth Warren spoke, Massachusetts senator. I mean, there were so many of them. The Reverend Al Sharpton spoke. And after Reverend Sharpton spoke, the Exonerated Five, formerly known as the Central Park Five, spoke. Yeah, we'll give you some of the vice president. Now, she spoke, of course, for 40 minutes, so we're not going to give you 40 minutes, but we're going to give you a little bit. We're going to give you some of what Madam Vice President had to say.
I'm thanking my most incredible husband, Doug, for being an incredible partner to me, an incredible father to Cole and Ella, and
all right, there we go.
For all Americans, you can always trust me to put country above party and self, to hold sacred America's fundamental principles, from the rule of law to free and fair elections to the peaceful transfer of power. I will be a president who unites us around our highest aspirations, a president who leads and listens, who is realistic, practical, and has common sense, and always fights for the American people. From the courthouse to the White House, that has been my life's work. As a young courtroom prosecutor in Oakland, California, I stood up for women and children against predators who abuse them. As Attorney General of California, I took on the big banks, delivered $20 billion from middle-class families who faced foreclosure, and helped pass a homeowner bill of rights, one of the first of its kind in the nation. I stood up for veterans and students being scammed by big for-profit colleges, for are workers who are being cheated out of their wages, the wages they were due.
Let me get Amia Hampton up in the space who wants to chime in on the conversation. Amia, you got the microphone.
Hey, Bishop, hope all is well. TGIF.
Good morning.
Hey, sorry, I'm just getting the tail end of your live. So you probably went over, your opinion. But it sounds like, did you feel like, let me ask you this. Did you feel like that the DNC was able to turn around the benign neglect, symbolism only image that it has to its most loyal base?
No, I don't think so. What I said is that they have to now take the rhetoric from the convention and transform that into tangible policies that benefit their loyal constituency. So no, they weren't going to do that in one full swoop in 3 days of convention speeches. That really was a way to rile up their loyal base toward the election. But in order to overcome the level of apathy and the concerns that have been expressed in the Black community, they've got to turn the rhetoric into something tangible.
I agree. What do you think it's going to take for them to actually come to the table? And like I said before, strike an economic deal with its most loyal base, reparations, cash and land appropriations bill, something that would, what do you think is going to take? Because we are running out of time. November is around the corner.
Right. They're gonna have to be serious about a few things. One, economics, about closing the wealth gap, about things like reparations, which is one of the key components of any economic plan when it comes to Black people. They're going to have to speak seriously about shoring up the Voting Rights Act that has been gutted for 11 long years now. They're going to have to deal seriously with the Justice and Policing Act and addressing accountability among law enforcement and the criminal justice system. And not just having proposed legislation on the books. They're going to have to formulate a plan of how we get this passed and how we're going to make it a priority, because, Black folks are saying, listen, if you can get the Asian American and Pacific Islander bill passed, why can't we get the bills passed for Black people?
Exactly. We see, the thing is with the Democratic Party, if they would have stood with Black Americans on this reparations journey, 30 years ago, like they stand with Ukraine, if they had a push like they do with I Stand With Ukraine, we would have had economic justice in our lifetimes. We would have, the conversation would be entirely different. But we have gave the Democratic Party trifecta after trifecta. They have had the House, they have had the Senate, time and time again. They practice benign neglect. They use our Black American freedmen's struggle to rein in other people that are anti-Black. The Democratic Party is way too big of a tent. They are pushing way too much immigration for us to be on board at this time. Well, for me and mine, I speak for me and mine only, here in South Carolina. We are still trying to unseat the biggest coon that we have in South Carolina, who is Jim Bojangles Clyburn of the Democratic Party. He was at the DNC spewing more benign neglect, more smoke and mirrors. It's still, for me, no reparations, no Democrats. That means that I'm still going to be holding my nose and voting for either Trump or for West. I haven't sorted out the details because we don't have good options either way across the board. But what we do have to do is split our vote up. We cannot be 90% giving them our vote. But great space per usual. I'm going to replay your DNC recap. You take care and you have a good weekend.
All right. You take care. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Oh, caller hung up. All right. Listen, 4 minutes left in the program. Coming up at 10 o'clock is my man Don Felton He's coming up with mid-morning jazz, great black music, and more. He's going to make it smooth. He's going to make it personal for all of you all. So definitely, if you're in the 413 area, keep it locked right here because there's some more good programming coming up as always here on WTCC. You can tune in to me on Monday morning. I'll be back on the spoken word at 9:00 a.m. Some more conversation. Definitely want to engage you in that. And again, let me give you a recap of what's coming up. Our Holy Convocation, September 3rd through the 6th at Spring of Hope Church. The Bishop Robert Jones on Tuesday, the Pastor Willie Moy on Wednesday, Mother Valerie Fields on Thursday, and yours truly on Friday the 6th. On the 7th will be Hope Fest, street naming ceremony right there on Alden Street at 3 p.m. Hope Fest will start at 1 p.m. Music, food, a lot of good stuff happening. You want to be a part of that, so come on out and check it out. And then, of course, on Sunday, every Sunday, 11:00 a.m., prayer, praise, and preaching, building better tomorrows by changing lives today. NAACP Freedom Fund is on October 17th at the Sheraton. You'd want to be a part of that experience. Definitely, that's going to be a wonderful time. So a lot of good stuff happening in the city. Listen, wind down for the summer. School is getting ready, start up, all that good stuff. So, hey, let's be ready. Once again, Don Felton coming up in 2 minutes with mid-morning jazz, great black music, and more. So keep it locked right here. Right here. All right. Listen, I'm out your way. Until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, always remember, God loves you. So do I. Peace and blessings.
This one is for all the brothers that passed, but more particularly one because it affected me drastically. I remember my sister gave me the call and I was in awe. Matter of fact, it felt the fall.